And Zoning Commission special meeting to order, and we'll start with roll call.
Commissioner Boyson.
Here.
Commissioner Cardone.
Here.
Commissioner Lambert. Commissioner Fleming.
Here.
Chair Eldridge.
Here. I'm going to start by asking the members. I just spoke with counsel. He suggested that we could combine the two hearings that we have tonight into one. We have a request for a conditional use and a request for a variance. And if everybody's in agreement, and then we could combine the two into one rather than opening a hearing and going through the process twice. So is everybody in agreement with doing that?
Yes.
Do you need a motion or not?
No?
Okay. All right.
I open the public hearing for a conditional use and for a variance at 1004 2nd Avenue. And do we have the requester here? And if so, would he like to speak to the issue? And please identify yourself at the podium.
Thank you, members of the board. I'm Matt Bolf with SCH. I serve as the city engineer for the city of Proctor and the engineer for the PUC as well. We have been working with the PUC for a little over a year, or actually a couple of years now, on the planned replacement of the pump house on 2nd Avenue. That is the pump house that takes water from the City Duluth system and feeds your water tower in Proctor. So as part of the project, we are going to build or construct a brand new building. The building itself and the pumps within it are all of past their life expectancy. So as part of the project, we were looking at replacing the building in a similar fashion to where it exists now, a similar setback from the road. A couple of things with that is when we laid this out, there was a desire to have a better turnaround space in this area for city maintenance vehicles. Also, they are planning to be able to bring in a portable generator on a trailer and be able to back it in alongside of the building. And at the time, the PUC also had a plan for a potential another garage there. So the layout of the site with those kind of constraints, if you will, we put the building at exactly the 22 feet from the right-of-way as the existing one is now. The required setback is 35 feet, and so we are asking for the variance for that building to match what is there now. And looking just to the south, it looks like the existing homes that are there are roughly around that maybe 25 foot or so setback from the right-of-way. So similar to maybe what is out there right now. In addition, there is, for safety, security reasons, fencing that the PUC would like to put up. There's not fencing on the site right now, and what has happened is there's been a squatting that has happened over the years with the neighbor's property ending up on city property. And because now with the increased turnaround areas that they want to be able to maintain and prevent cross usage of driveways, meaning we don't want city staff or contractors to enter into the PUC driveway and exit out a private residence driveway because it'd be so close. So for that reason, the PUC has decided that they would like to have a 6-foot high fence installed on the property line to separate those two. The PUC would desire to have the fence start at that same 22-foot setback as the building. So the variance request would also be for the placement of the fence starting at 22 feet going back to the improved area. That would be on the south side of the building, the south side of the lot. The north side of the lot will have a tree buffer that will remain in place, and so we did not see a need for fencing on the north side. So that is the quick summary of what the project is and why the request has come up. I'd be happy to answer any specific questions that anyone has.
What type of fencing are we talking about here?
I'm sorry, couldn't.
What type of fencing?
Oh, 6-foot high chain link fence, and I believe the PUC selected a black vinyl coated fence over the standard gray fencing. So it will be kind of see-through, I guess if that is the question. It's not a solid privacy fence.
And the fence would start 22 feet back from the road right-of-way?
That is correct. It would start at the same point as what the building setback would be as well.
Do people have questions for the applicant? Any questions?
Would this be a brick-type building like the one that is there now?
Well, we have, I'm trying to remember, we did think there's a brick wainscoting on it, and then it's like a LP smart siding on the upper half of or the majority of the building is like an LP smart siding. The bottom half is a wainscoting, I believe, so.
So the old building will stay in place and be
13 foot.
13 feet variance.
13-foot front yard setback variance to allow them to build it at 22 feet off the right-of-way.
And to allow the fence.
Yep.
I'll second that.
So do we need a conditional use just for that type of building within the zone? I think we do.
Yeah, it's listed under conditional use, so, I mean, that should be part of the motion also.
Yes.
I think you should do separate motions, for one for the
separate?
variance and one for the conditional.
Okay.
Lowell, are you willing to withdraw
And
your
include
motion
a
as
conditional
amended?
use? Or do I make another motion after J, or do we settle one first?
Let's do one, and then when we're finished with the first one, let's do the second one.
Okay. So I seconded Jay's motion to allow for the setback and to allow the fence. And so do we vote on that then? Yeah.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Ayes have got it. And then we need a second motion.
And is that a recommendation to council?
Yes.
I'll make,
Well, variances, I don't think are recommendations.
but the
to
conditional
council.
use is.
Conditional use is.
I'll make a motion to recommend to council to approve the conditional use permit for the PUC pump station. 1004 Second Avenue.
I'll support that.
And any discussion on the conditional use? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're done. Thank you. I think that's all of the business we have tonight.
You should build a
Thanks.
city for a full hour, though. I mean, Puck.
Great, you meant anything you need from me, or?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Motion would be in place here.
Do we want to talk about members' concerns at all, or not? I see it's on there.
Well, it's on here, so we could.
I just have a couple things that I'd like to bring up now before our next meeting. One of my neighbors at 105 Grove Street attempted to cut their grass for the first time yesterday, but it's still not cut, and they have pallets all over the yard. It's a corner lot right across from Forbes Church, and they have brought in many a pallets and not cut their grass, let's say. And I think it's a public nuisance issue. And then I was driving by South First Avenue, and I just want to give you a heads up. It's probably coming as a variance request at 124 South First Avenue. It's the corner house. And we had a variance request a few years back for their garage because they built their garage too close to their house, and it was like 7 feet rather than 10 feet from what I recall. And they started building the garage, I think, put in the concrete. Anyways, it got approved, I guess. It did get approved, that variance. But I noticed he was building a screen porch, stick-built screen porch on top of his deck that he had built a few years back. That probably doesn't meet setback. The deck itself doesn't meet setback, but I kind of just drove by. But then he was putting up a screen porch, and I thought, wow, that's odd, because now it's a permanent structure. Not that the deck wasn't a permanent structure, but now he's putting up I'm going to say 8-foot deep screen porch by guessing about 12 feet. That looks very permanent to me. So I talked to our building inspector, and I said, I don't think that meets setback, and I don't know what kind of posts it's on, etc. And I was like, I think someone needs to take care of that and just go look and take a tape measure, or I can tape measure my mom's house, which is 2 down from there, and see what my mom's setback is, because I'm betting that house is right on the setback. Anyway, so I want to give you a heads up and it was started without a permit. So taking off siding, and now it's half erected. And so he'll be probably coming for a variance request. So I want to give a heads up to everyone.
Has anything occurred to move toward a cease and desist on building?
Yeah, I already shut them down.
Good.
And then I went there today with Jim Rich and just looked at the construction, because I didn't want him to chase a variance if we couldn't fix the construction to make it acceptable. Jim thought we could, with some different techniques, make it acceptable. So he filed for a variance today, so
Okay.
it'll be before us, I think, at the end of June, right?
Correct.
And that's all I have.
Other member concerns tonight?
Megan, on that first deal Lowell talked about, do you let Kent know about that then, or?
Yeah, I can let him know.
Okay. I was by there the other day too. It's
pretty
getting
bad
bad
now?
pretty quick.
Okay,
It probably wasn't like that when they did their drive-through, but
okay.
it's
Yeah, I'll let him
kind
know.
of suddenly happened.
Jay, make the motion.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll support that.
All approve, say aye.
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 Right?
We're done.